Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kojimo here, back with another video. Today we are going to talk about how to dominate on pistol round. Now today we're going to specifically talk about T-side pistols and everything you need to know. I'm a professional player in Counter-Strike, and I'm going to teach you all of the bad habits that you need to avoid, all the good stuff that you need to do, positioning strategy, just everything about it. If you want to see the CT side of pistol rounds, I did make a video on that prior to this. You should definitely check that out either after this video or before. It's up to you, but either way, before we get into the T-side pistols, I do have to give you a message from the sponsor of the video.
Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code KOJO. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description.
Alright guys, so let's talk about the do's and don'ts of T-side pistol and how you can optimize yourself so that you can play this side of the game like a pro. The pistol rounds are the most important rounds in the game, and if you don't play them right, you're going to struggle and you're never going to be the greatest Counter-Strike player you can be. So that's the first thing we need to understand is pistol rounds so important because they snowball and build your economies for all the next rounds, right? So starting with the economy, what should we be buying on pistol round and what should we not be buying? So every time you start out the game, you're gonna have $800, right? And so you're gonna have a few things that you can buy with that $800. The first thing that I would suggest for most people to buy is just the Kevlar vest. And why is this? Because if you're buying utility, we'll get into that, but especially those of you watching this video at intermediate or lower level, you're probably not going to know much what to do with the utility, and it's just more worth it to buy the armor because buying the Kevlar vest is going to allow you to soak up more USP shots, and especially when you're playing at a lower level and people don't have the best aim, that Kevlar comes in so handy because you can take like 7 USP shots compared to dying in 3 shots at close range or something. So Kevlar is great. It avoids aim punch. 90% of players out there should just be buying Kevlar on pistol round. Other than that, some good pistol round strategies on the T side specifically, don't do this on CD side, is buying P250 and dropping it to 2 players, or just buying 1 and getting a smoke, right? Another utility. Regardless, that P250 is so good on T side because if you give it to a player for a strat, they can come take these long angles with armor and really fight the USPs and actually have the advantage. So the disadvantage on T side pistol is if you have the Glock, you're not going to one-shot people at long range, and you're going to have to shoot them a lot more than they are. With the USP, they're going to rip your head off and one-shot you across the map, right? So if you drop a P250 to your teammates with armor, now they have a gun that's more powerful than the USP, and they can one-shot from any range on the map, right? No head armor, boom, one-shot, one-shot, one-shot. So P250, overpowered on T-side pistol. A lot of players use it on long range maps. It's really good to have the P250 lead into the long angles, play Overwatch, and then have your Glocks run in it. The P250 is almost like an op on pistol round if you think about it like that. Never buy dualies. Never buy dualies on T-side pistol. Completely like just not the best. It's pretty useless. And then rarely buy a Tech 9. There's a time and place for it, but honestly, with how you can just scale in with the Glocks and stuff, it's not as worth it to get a Tech 9 in today's meta anymore. So at a lower level, it's pretty viable. Just run and gun, jump around, get in there. But for, you know, all intents and purposes, if you want to get better, don't buy Tech 9, just get armor. And then Deagle, again, it could work, but honestly, if you want to be a team player, drop 2 P250s instead of buying a Deagle, no armor. It's kind of useless. You'll see players use it, but it's not worth it. Don't copy them. It's a horrible strategy. So stop buying Deagles on T-side pistol. That's a lot, and we haven't even gotten into the actual pistol. That's just like talking about what we need to do, and we still got to talk about the smokes and stuff. So on pistol rounds, unless you have a set piece strat, like, you know, oh guys, we want to go long, but we need a cross because we don't want to fight the USPs, use your smokes to cut off the long range angles to allow you to scale in closer. So like on Dust 2, like I said here, we're going to smoke off this so that we can cross, and they just have to spam, that's it. And then we can play post plant, and it's so favorable for us, right? Same thing, like you can get a flash, but you know, use it to support your team. Obviously it's flashbang, so flash over car as you're scaling or doing something like that. You can get a molly for post plant, maybe that could be useful. But yeah, molly, never buy an HE on T-side pistol. It's useless. It's pretty much useless, right? As far as that goes, that's kind of the economy and stuff and the strats with it. I guess on B side we can talk about it too. Like you could use a smoke for doors, so that with a smoke and flash, you can pop out of tunnels here and get close range angles. The name of the game is close range angles. Close range angles. And guys, when you have the Glock, jump around and be hard to hit. If you're entering out, the worst thing you can do is entry out like this. Do you see what's wrong with that? You're just going in a straight line, and when they have a USP, it's so easy for them. Boop, boop, boop. USB is just destroying you guys. If you're running out though, and you know you're kind of strafing around these corners, being hard to hit, and you see my head moving in real life, I always do that. But yeah, be hard to hit, jump around, get that verticality so that it draws the crosshair off. So if they're sitting car, they don't just get to go boop, boop, boop. They have to go like and like change the angle, and it's so hard, guys. Be relentless with the Glocks, get up in their face and close that distance. Something that's so good on this game too, on the T side, is when you get those kills with the Glocks, you can pick up their USPs then, and then have these long range battles where the CTs aren't going to expect it. It's the best feeling to pick up a USP and start dueling them from these angles because they think they're fighting Glocks, right? Never fight long range angles when you have a Glock. It's not worth it. Definitely avoid doing that. Ultimately, guys, let's talk about kind of the strategic side of pistol rounds now. What you generally want to do on T-side pistols is you want to use numbers to attack one side of the map. You have limited utility, you don't have head armor, you're playing against CTs who have a better long range weapon. You have to make up for that by the fact that you can mob them, like swarm them and really run in as a group of 5, right? And honestly, if you guys have a group of 5 people, all of you subscribe to my channel and we'll get more subs and I'll make my dream happen. Sorry, I don't shout out my channel enough, and 90% of viewers are unsubscribed. But yeah, really mob the site that you want to go. So avoid long range stuff unless you have that P2. Like I would avoid long on pistol round for Dust 2. On some of the other maps, I guess Overpass out of the pool now. Like Ancient, most teams go B on Ancient because it's such a close range site. On Dust 2, I would honestly just smoke off like Xbox or doors, run up cat if you want to go A, go mid to B with a smoke down here through mid to B, and do that kind of thing. You can split and crunch on pistol rounds, but overall you don't ever really want to have too many lurks on pistol. It's just very useless. And like I said, you got to take advantage of that swarm strategy on pistol round and make the life so hard for the CTs. Because if you think about it, at the end of the day, the CTs have 2 sites to defend, right? And if you watch my CT pistol round, I did recommend you should stack sites on pistol CT side because it's so hard to deal with this swarm of players. But ultimately, get the site, right? Swarm, get the site. Ideally, if you can get bomb down, it is so important on T-side pistol. That, like, if you're gonna take away anything from this video too, getting bomb down on T-side pistol is literally half the battle. You don't even need to win the round. If you can just get this bomb down, it gives your team so much extra money, meaning that the next round you can all buy Galil and armor, and if you get extra kills, you can get AKs, and then you're fighting CTs who barely have money because the CT economy is just so bad, right? So ultimately, if you can get the bomb down, you've already won. So I would call strats and do things that are going to guarantee that. But yeah, guys, at the end of the day, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I think we talked about a lot of good stuff today. If you want to support me, like this video, leave a comment down below, join my Discord community so that you can discuss your ideas, maybe find some people to play with, and we can just chat and have a good time. Check out my TikTok if you want to laugh and see funny memes and stuff. And just overall, guys, thank you so much for the support. This is my dream to do this. I love my job so much, and you guys are making my life so good. So appreciate every single one of you. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep getting better. Leave some comments down below for some suggestions that you want to see for video ideas in the future, and I'll try to cover them. So keep learning, stay active, and do your thing. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Peace out.